Yo guys, what is going on? Blossom is back, and welcome back to another episode of Garage Review. It's been a while since I've done one of these, and we are back with a special edition Garage Review just to end off the year. This isn't going to be the last Garage Review of the year. I plan for at least one or two more, but this is a special edition because this is Garage Review YouTuber edition slash friend edition slash very experienced players edition. Alright, so as you know, recently I started a new series on my channel called Top Drives PP, or Top Drives Players Podcast, and I have two other hosts with me. One is Eric and one is Dell Cookie, and those are the two garages we will be reviewing today. I've already told the boys this is really more of a showcase than a critique, just to show you guys what the higher rollers in the game are rolling with. Wish I could find two different words, but I use rolling twice. But nevertheless, I did write some notes down, just some advice and just some things that I looked out for when I looked at your garages. Anyway, I'm gonna give these guys a Blossom score too, and trust me, I'm going to be, I wouldn't say harsh, but, I definitely know that these guys are experienced players, and because of that, we need to judge them pretty strictly. So let's start off with Dell Cookie. First of all, the trophy count. You can't see it here in frame, but his trophy count is 27,325. That is a lot of trophies. He is at an RQ of 150, and currently he has 644 grand in his cash bank account and 2,765 gold in his gold bank account. So with that said, let's get into it and see what Dell Cookie has for us. Obviously, he has this reputation of literally having every Volkswagen. He's also a massive fan of Mazda. So when you guys look at this garage, make sure to pause whenever you like to look out for all those Volkswagens and all those Mazdas. So let's get into it. Starting off strong, we have two Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. That's always nice to see. Oh, starting off even stronger, we have 5 BMW Isetta 250s. That's gonna bring a lot of smiles to people's faces. Obviously, he's gonna use that for his Smurf deck. Some people might be mad if I call 5 Isettas a Smurf deck, so God deck. But yeah, as you can see here, plagued by Volkswagens. It's just all Volkswagens. 3 Honda Beats. I expected more from you, Cookie, but 3 is definitely 2 more than me. I only have 1. Once again, more Volkswagens. He's actually fusing a Smart 4.4. Okay, Cookie, I see you. Just alright, quirks and features everywhere. Alright, 2 Mazda Carols. I mean, I'm surprised that thing's even an RQ5. I don't even know if that's a good car. The Alpha 2600, a couple more Volkswagens here and there, the Ford Escort, and the 2000 GTV. 2000 GTV, 6.90 to 60, 70 handling, and top speed of 135. Actually, that is a car that's kind of been on my radar for a while. Not sure if I should max that out and keep it in my garage or not. Yeah, it will be interesting to see what that car is really good for. Anyway, let's move on to the uncommons, and yeah, just a lot of Volkswagens, as you guys can see. One very interesting thing here is that Chrysler 300H. I don't know why you haven't maxed it out yet, Cookie. If you can, go for it. 996. Best uncommon for the quarter mile, and that's it, because it has no MRA. More Volkswagens here and there. This is a strange one. Maxed out Renault Captur. I've never seen anybody actually max that out. 94 and 80. Is that good? I feel like 80 is decent, but I also know common cars that can hit over 80, so I don't know much about that. It's nice to see 2 maxed out Chevrolet S10 Blazers, though. I do love that. Couple Twizzys, couple Autozams, couple RX-7s. I do love the Mazda RX-7. Oh, one interesting thing here, and we just passed it. Let's see if we can just go back a little bit and pause it at the right time, because Cookie is swiping really quickly. But let's see. There we go. One surprising thing is that you have all of these Volkswagens, Cookie, I'm surprised that the Volkswagen Up GTI is actually not maxed out yet, considering you have a lot of Volkswagens maxed out already. Because in my opinion, I don't collect Volkswagens, but if I was going to choose one, I would probably choose that Volkswagen Up GTI to keep in my garage. That and the Corrado. I love the Corrado, but obviously you have that maxed out. Such a great epic. Such a great uncommon, that car. Nice to see you have the laser maxed out too, and let's move on to the rares. Once again, we're moving by really quickly here. 2 Caterham 160s, 2 of those Buicks. That's pretty quirky. I don't see a lot of people have that. I see Mazdas all over the place and Volkswagens all over the place, obviously. You can tell this is a very cookie garage. I don't think there's any other garage that has this many Volkswagens and Mazdas in the same one. But moving on, we see an XT. We see the Pontiac Bonneville SSEI. I'm a massive fan of that. Mazda RX-7 Turbo, obviously 86 handling, is a very nice looking car. 2 Lotus Elise 1.6s, only 1 maxed out. If I were you, I'd max out the second one as well. And that's it. One very interesting thing, I might have missed it because you're swiping really quickly, but I've also gone through this garage about 3 times. Haven't seen a Chevrolet Malibu anywhere, so if you want to get that Chevy Malibu Cookie, I think that would be a great rare to have. Definitely a keeper, and I've recommended it so many times. That BMW 320D Touring as well, I see a lot of people roll with that. It's kind of like the S-State version of a Malibu, but for German cars. I think it's like 82 handling maxed out, I think, and a lower 0 to 60 than the Malibu. Definitely a car that I've been neglecting for a while, but I know I should get eventually. Anyway, let's move on to the C's. Not a lot of notes on the C's. All I have saying here is max out your Elise 111S and max out your RQ18 Lancia Delta. That's all I have to say, really. You have, a really good variety. I see slicks, I see standards, off-roaders. Like I said, these guys know the game. So we're kind of looking at their garage, and as you can see, a lot of Volkswagens. 3 Scirocco's, 3 Tiguans, don't know how many Touaregs. Let's slow down a bit. Maybe he only has 2. Alright, he only has 2, but look at all those Volkswagens, 4 Scirocco's, 4 Phaetons as well. That is insane. 4 Suzuki Ignises as well. I'm not sure if that is a car you're hoarding or you just haven't fused any of them. But as you can see here, this is what happens when players open more ceramics than maxing out ultras. My garage is kind of like this as well, where it's just plagued by duplicate super rares here and there. A lot of Foresters, a lot of SCRs, 3 Boxsters, and 3 111Ss. Now this was the car I was talking about that you could consider maxing out. I do have this, and it helps me in my British deck quite a bit. That Ford Focus RS is good too. I see 4 Datsuns, and of course, I envy you this Cookie. I really envy you because I want that Buick GNX. But moving on to the Ultras, let's see what I got here. Oh, yes. One very interesting quirk is your Lamborghini LP500S. 85 handling, 4.3. 85 handling, that is a 996. LP500S, if I am not wrong. I don't know why you did that. I know it's a Countach and it has the MRA, but everybody knows the purple Countach, the LP400 or the Thanos Countach is just so much better. So if I were you, I don't know why. For me, the LP500S is a Lamborghini U699. I have it 699. It hits 88 handling. It's very, very good in the twisties for Lamborghini events exclusively. Especially the lower RQ ones. But yeah, I guess you 996'd it because you don't have the Thanos Countach, and because of that, you should try to get that purple Lamborghini Countach LP400 because the MRA on that thing is insane. That Lamborghini Miura SV as well, nice to see that you have that maxed out. It's a car I've been wanting to max out for a while, but I just haven't gotten around to do it. 3 GTOs. Oh, that's another thing about Cookie. You love Pontiac. I love Pontiac myself, so very, very nice. Here's a good quirk that really caught my eye. You have 4 maxed out Lancia Delta Integrale Evolution 2. I love that. I love that. I love seeing just max outs of just the same car. I have that for the Martinis as well. And obviously, you already told me that the reason why you did this is because And sorry, the quality is actually kind of bad. I think it's just moving it too quickly, so it doesn't like load in. The quality doesn't load in because I'm on the highest setting. I think it's like 720p of what he uploaded it on YouTube by. But yeah, Lancias, love those. And I remember him telling me why he has 4 maxed out is because it used to be the best Italian car for the rain before Italian Renaissance. Rightly so. It's a great car. Cobalt, very nice to see. Coupe, 2 Timoras as well. I want the Timora so bad. This is a rare one, a bit of a unicorn car, the BBR MX-5. Not a lot of cars I see of that. Let's see what else I got going on in my list. Other notes I just have at the end here, and obviously he has like 4 Colorado ZR2s. I mean, come on, save some for me. But yeah, Max BTR and Max the AMG C63. Those are the 2 cars I would max if I were you. Do you have 4? Do you have 4 or do you have 3 ZR2s? I can't remember. Let's look. Alright, yes, 2 924s. I have 2 924s as well. There's the S63 that I would max. Yeah, he has 4 ZR2s. The 3rd one isn't even max. That's insane. Definitely I would max the 4th one. I would max every ZR2 I get. Honestly, I still feel like that car will become epic. Anyway, moving on to the epics. I see a very nice variety of cars. Obviously, I see the 750i, 3.8 and 8.3. Very nice to see. And obviously, Mitsubishi Lancer Evo X, a lot of key cars, and we're gonna move on and see the Furais here. 3 Furais, 2 of them maxed out, and you also have that unicorn car, which is the Jag, maxed out Charger, Hellcat, very nice to see, as well as the CT6, which is the car I want the most, besides the wide body, of course. My notes on the epics, I would say, first of all, I saw a lot of 1-star epics, and honestly, that triggers me. But that's just my personal thing, because I don't know if you're gonna keep those, are you gonna upgrade them and max them out eventually, or you're gonna fuse them. But you know me, I don't like fusing 1-star epics. I know I have to eventually, because a lot of my 1-star epics are just early game mistakes. So eventually I will have to let them go. I just don't like it because 1-star epics is like you've already invested like 20 grand or something like that. And if I were you, I would max out the BTR2 as well. It's definitely a car high up on my list that I want to get for epics. Anyway, moving on are the legendaries, so we're just gonna see them real quick. A couple things I want to highlight. Very nice to see that Sport Quattro is. If I were you, if I had to max one legendary out, obviously you've already maxed out the CTR3, but I'm not going to talk about that too much because I know that brings bad memories to you, Cookie. But the S1 Quattro, very nice car. I would definitely put a couple upgrades into that. You know, I know you have all the prize car Cadillacs as well. You like to boast about that, which is very, very nice to see. I don't even have a single prize Cadillac. And finally, I guess the weaker part, or the weak link in your legendary collection, is you don't have the killer RQ30 car. You just don't have that 918 or that GT2 RS or the 720S, or you don't have those Bugattis. The best you got going for you is probably going to be that CTR3 Club Sport, but 94 handling, and it's not going to beat a Bugatti per se. Yeah, you just don't have that killer nail in the coffin RQ30, so hopefully you will get that one day. Anyway, let's tab out of that and move on to the Blossom scores for Dell Cookie, and then we'll move on to Eric. So, first off, uniqueness. It's a 10. It is a 10. You will not see any garage out there with 4 maxed out Lancia Delta Integrales, with almost every Volkswagen in the game and all those Mazdas as well. It is a unique garage. Patriotism. I didn't see a lot of one country. You have a lot of each country, but there wasn't like one that was like just a lot more than everything else. So I'm just gonna give you a 6. Moving on to character is once again a 10, which brings your score to a 26. Is that the highest Blossom score ever? Yes, it is. PG Leo had 23, who was the highest before, but you know, you with your 2 perfect score 10s just really brings it up. Anyway, scale, it's a pretty big garage. I'll give it an 8. It's not the biggest garage I've ever seen, but it definitely is a big garage. We'll see a bigger garage in a bit. Moving on to strength, definitely a strong garage, you know, versatile, everything like that. Once again, only thing that you're lacking is that RQ30 legendary, that nail in the coffin legendary. You really need that, but you know, for that I'm gonna give you a 9. Next is versatility. Once again, very, very versatile garage, you know, a lot of different things here and there, but kind of versatility and strength kind of go hand in hand, and because of that, I have to give you probably an 8 actually, not really hand in hand, because I don't know, I just didn't see a lot of like. I'm just gonna give you an 8. In terms of lethal, you know what? That's not fair, because really, when I think about your garage, it is really versatile. I'll give it a 9. I'll give you that. Moving on to the lethal level, you know what? No, I'm gonna give you an 8, because I just have to make the point system fair. And I have seen Eric's garage, and I don't think his garage deserves a 10 in versatility, but it deserves a 9, and it's a little better than yours. I have reasons, okay? Next is the lethal level. Lethal level, definitely, you know, very, very strong garage across the board on all different rarities, besides Legendary. But then again, Legendary, you do have the S1, so you are capable of going to off-roader events as well, which is something I don't even have the chance to do. So it is a very, very lethal garage, and I'm going to give it a 9. Moving on to potential, definitely, you know, you just get that RQ30 Legendary, man. You just get like a Bugatti, and like you're set. Like you're set. And because of that, I'm gonna give you a 10 for potential, which brings us to a total of, oh god, math, 18, 28. What is 28 plus 8? 36 plus 8, 48. No, what's 36 plus 8? Oh god, 34. Okay, so that brings us to a score of 34, and 34 plus 26 is 60. That is actually insane. That you are now, wait, what? We have a 69? Hold up. I'm pulling out the calculator. I can't do math, guys. This is what happens when you're an art student. 8 plus 9 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10. 44. Alright, so that's probably why. So yeah, we'll bring that to 44, which brings you up to a 70. Alright, anyway, let's move on to Eric now. We spent too much time doing math, and honestly, I'm gonna get a headache if I spend a little longer. Anyway, let's move on to Eric's garage, and let's get into this. So, Eric's garage, a couple stats to bring us straight off the bat here. Even more trophies than Cookie, and almost as many as me at 30,190. He's obviously broke though. Has no cash and has 722 gold, which is just enough for the club boost. Anyway, we are greeted with 3 Type 2s and 5 Porsche 356s, which is very nice to see. Actually, in my notes, I wrote 4 because I actually missed one, but now I see 5, which is very nice to see. Obviously, that is your go-to Smurf deck. 2 Transams as well, the GMC Caballero. I just like to say the name Caballero, and a lot of just gray cars. Now 6 Beats as well, which is very nice to see. Now here's the thing, before I started reviewing this, Eric told me a couple things that we needed to know before judging his garage. The first one is he has a lot of fused material lying around, so as you can see, just a lot of just no star commons and uncommons everywhere. He also has this tactic where he just kind of keeps, you know, a lot of every car, and he only maxes them out when needed. So when there's an event where maybe you need a Datsun 240Z, then he'll max out the Datsun 240Z, which honestly is a big brain move, but usually because of my OCD, I don't really do that. I max cars straight away. And he also said another thing to look out for is that he has a couple 2-star cars lying all over the place, ready to be maxed if needed. So that means they've already been upgraded. He just needs to put in the cash. And it seems to me that Eric is always broke. But yeah, I would say max out your 2600 alpha though, in terms of your commons, because that's not going to take a lot of money for you, from you. Next thing here, you know, obviously, you know, a lot of key cars. You have 2 GTXs to say the least, Porsche 924 as well. Some really great cars which you should really think about maxing out, but obviously, like you said, you only max them out when you need to, which is fine. I think it's just kind of funny you have that Mazda 3 or whatever maxed out. If I were you, I would finish off that Chrysler Laser XT, or at least get it to your 2-star guideline. Moving on to the D's. These are the cars, if I were you, would max out either way because they're just really useful in clubs. And that would be the Dodge Lil Red Express, the BMW Z4, and of course the Ford Escort Rally Spec, and the Mazda BBR Turbo as well. So some really great cars. Obviously you have, you know, a lot of key cars, and like the 320 Touring, you have that at 2 stars, probably already maxed. But yeah, it's kind of ironic for me to actually talk about the Escort Rally Spec because I don't even have one, but I've survived about it, so it's fine. Anyway, next to probably my favorite feature about this garage, and this is literally like the most unique thing I've ever seen, and this is the fact that he has not a single maxed out super rare, but one. He has one max super rare. This guy has 30k trophies, by the way, and he only has one maxed out super rare, and it is indeed not even like a Datsun. Yeah, it's a DS Wild Rubis. Like, he doesn't even have the Datsun maxed out, or it's not even the El Camino, it's not even the Miura Roadster. No, it's the DS Wild Rubis. He even shows it off. 969 or 323, and he's owned it for literally 2 days. Very, very interesting to see. You know what? Keep doing what you do. I love that. I really, really love that. I see the Countach as well. You have the Thanos Countach. Obviously, you have it at like 990 or something like that. I couldn't do that. My OCD is like maxed or nothing. So here are the notes I have for your ultra rares. You have a lot of key cars, key ultra rares per se. So like the Megane and the Volkswagen TCR, the Colorado, Mitsubishi Evo 1, Evo 4s, the 340R, a lot of maxed out and useful ultra rares, which is very, very nice to see. Also makes your garage very lethal and very good in versatility, and of course 3 maxed out 924s, which is really something I want. One thing you don't have though is the Chevrolet Murray. You never got that when it was an ultra rare, which is a shame. And I remember looking at your epics, and you don't have the Murray as an epic as well. But it happens, you know. Personally, for me, I never got the El Mirage when it was an ultra, and now I just have no chance of maxing it out anymore. Nice to see of the 911 Carrera though. That's a Porsche I've been looking for quite a while, which I don't have yet. 2 Evo 4s, which is very nice, and a couple Maseratis here and there. One thing that your garage, and I wouldn't max out the Honda Civic Type R, but because it's very useful, but you also have that Ford Focus or Fiesta or whatever, which is really good, the black one. Duplicates of many useful cars as well, like the M6 and the 030. So your garage, kind of similar to mine, we both have a lot of key ultra rares, and we're both missing out one key ultra rare, and that is indeed the TVR Tamora, which Cookie has 2 maxed out. So, you know, Eric, you and me alike, we just need to get that Tamora. Moving on to the epics now. Alright, so yeah, 2 notes here. Obviously, you know what you're doing with your epics, so I'm not gonna say too much. 3 bananas, 3 4Cs. You have the Cayman GT4. I don't have the Cayman GT4, and that was from a Dodge final, because that was such a Viper heavy event, and at the time of that event, I only had like 5 green Hellcats. So, you know, they couldn't turn. But I think I got tier 2 in that. Yeah, you're maxing out your Volkswagen W12 right now, obviously trying to get that Sesto, a couple Disco Volantes, roof compressor. Here's the interesting thing. So your red Mitsubishi Evo, you have that maxed out, but you don't have a maxed out version of the Evo 10 or the Evo FQ360, which is interesting to see. It's probably because you got the red Evo first. But it's just definitely interesting to see because the other 2 Mitsubishis are a lot better. If I were you, I'd also max out the SLS Roadster because it's a very nice car. Shot an arrow to my heart, obviously. SRT Hellcat wide body, you have one. I wish I had one. You also have 2 CT6s and 3 JPEs. So you are very, very lucky with the RQ stuff, as we will see in the Legendaries later. M3CS is an amazing, amazing car. And the last thing I want to talk about is indeed that Audi RS-Q3. Comment down below, guys, if you've made it to this far into the video and you have an RS-Q3, because honestly, to me, as I said in my notes, this car is a bit of a unicorn. I just don't see it anywhere. I don't see it. I've seen a lot of garages. I don't see them in a lot of garages. I don't see them in events as well. It's quite of a unicorn car, that RS-Q3. So if you do have it, do let me know. It's a pretty interesting one. Anyway, lastly, we move on to the Legendaries, and Eric has some absolutely amazing Legendaries. I think he only has one RQ27. He has one RQ27, which is the Ford GT. And then he has, obviously, Viper ACR, Viper GTSR, amazing cars, and the SRT Viper. I remember you getting that. I mean, I don't remember because I was cooking dinner, but I came back, and then I remember you telling me you got that. Some very nice Lamborghinis as well. Unlike me, I still don't have an epic or above Lamborghinis. And finally, the most crazy and amazing thing about this garage, and like I said, he has very good luck with high RQ stuff. He has a lot of RQ26 epics and a lot of RQ30 legendaries. In fact, he has 13 RQ30 legendaries. Among them, some are prize cars, obviously, like the P1 GTR, but then some are also not prize cars, like the Huayra and the GT2 RS and the 720S and the Veyron 16.4 and the Stelvio. It's pretty insane, all things considered. Anyway, there's a bit more to this video. Oh, this is just to show you the stats of everything he has, which is actually very nice to see. Fully upgraded, 2 maxed out legendaries, obviously, but let's just look at the total here. Yeah, so 559 cars, 33 legendaries, 88 epics, and 133 ultra rares. This is hands down the best garage I have reviewed today. Anyway, let's give him a Blossom score. So I'm going to throw my notes away because that's all we needed to say. Let's go to Eric. In terms of uniqueness, obviously we started off with the unique scale very strong. We saw a lot of, what is it, the 356s, Porsches. We saw a lot of the Beats, and obviously he has 1 max super rare. It would be even funnier if he had no max super rares, but it's nice to see that. Definitely a very unique garage. No other garage is going to have a super rare collection like that, and because of that, you get a perfect score of 10. Patriotism, there are no Canadian cars, obviously, but I don't see a lot of just one car in particular. I do see a lot of Germans, but I also see some Americans. It's a very versatile garage, but you know, I don't see any patriotism. I'm going to give you a 6. Moving on to character, once again, is a 10, which ties you on the total with 26 with Cookie. Moving on to the scale, this is a bigger garage than Cookie's garage. It's probably one of the bigger garage I've reviewed, and because of that, you're going to get a 9. Moving on to strength, this guy just doesn't have any weak points, does he? He has the P1 GTR, he has a Veyron, 3 924s, 6 beats. I mean, it's all over the place, and I have to give you a 10. Moving on to versatility, it is indeed a 9 because it's not like, honestly, a 10 in versatility is like if you had like 5 maxed out standard epics and ultras and like maybe 1 legendary or something like that. Like, it has to be a lot. Moving on to lethal level though, I mean, you can basically just destroy I'm actually going to bring the versatility thing down, actually. It's not a 9. Like, what am I thinking? You don't have a single super rare, brother. Yeah, no, it's 6. You don't have a single super rare. I can't say much. Lethal level, though, definitely very, very strong on both ends of the spectrum. Also very strong on the ultras. It's very hard to give you a score in this because obviously you have no super rares, but you've been surviving without them. You've proven that we don't need super rares because you have all those trophies, and obviously I talked to you quite a bit, so I know that you're doing well in all the events, and it's true, you don't really need super rares for multiplayer events. So yeah, I have to give you a 9 because although you don't, so yeah, I guess in this right, you can say that lethal level and versatility is indeed very different. Potential. It's a 10. It's definitely a 10. I couldn't give any other score. Anyway, with that said, I'm not even gonna try and calculate, so I'm gonna do 10 plus 10 plus 9 plus 9 plus 6, which gives you a score of 44. Will you look at that? It's a tie. So both of you are getting a 70, obviously. Why is this not black? There we go. So yeah. Is that even fair to give you both 70? I feel like Eric deserves a 71 because his garage is definitely a lot better. But what should I do? It's not a versatile garage. I mean, it is, but like, versatility mainly focuses on, you know, all the different rarities that you have, and you just don't have. I don't know what to do. I could give you an 11 for uniqueness. I don't know. We're gonna call it a tie for now, though. 70 points for both of you. But with that said, those are the highest points on the channel. Coming in 3rd place, though, not far behind at all, is PG Leo at 69. Anyway, with that said, hope you enjoyed the special. There's going to be a Christmas special garage review as well, and one more because I do have one more priority queue guy to get through. And obviously, if you want to submit your own garage, there'll be a link in the description below. And obviously, there's going to be a special garage review probably coming around Christmas time, maybe after Christmas, and that is my dream garage. The garage that I wanted. So definitely something you guys would love to check out as well. Anyway, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Blossom out.